Hey, Puppy Trade, thank you so much for the great feedback on Apple and Tesla. I really appreciate that. And so, I want to talk today about the retail sector and the consumer sector. This is one of my favorite sectors looking forward, right? So, what we're going to do real quick is we're going to talk about the really nice setups that I'm seeing for JD and that I'm seeing for Walmart. And we're also going to talk about Amazon and Target and how we can kind of use these stocks to gauge, where this whole sector may be going in the future. We're going to talk a bit about relative strength too. So we got a lot to talk about. Let's just get right into it, right? So JD, I'm long JD. Let me just say that I'm long JD. I don't want to give you guys any ideas, give away like, my strikes, my expiration dates, but I'm long JD. A lot of my followers got long JD right here. Remember, I don't give investment advice, but this is, FinchWit. This is for educational purposes, and so we got a very good entry right here on JD, and we got calls that got a 200% return right here. A lot of people took at least half off, and that ended up being a really good trade. We're going to talk about JD, why I think we're heading to 97, and just a little bit about technical analysis in general, right? So clear as day, the first thing you do, JD went on a run from 814 to 9.2, right? From 814 to 9.2. So that is the basis for our time target, right? So the length of this move is where we're getting our time and price target, right? That's where I get these time and price targets. It's called equal legs. It's market symmetry, right? What we're going to do now is, now that we have this high and this low, it's consolidating sideways into what we could call this a bull flag. You could call this a falling wedge. I call it sideways consolidation with declining volume, right? This is what I really like. We go on a move higher with a big volume spike, right? Look at all those big volume bars. And then we move sideways with declining volume. And so that's how we knew, hey, JD's going higher. We have declining volume. We're sideways. We're taking another thrust higher, right? And of course, we did get this volume breakout to give us our timing signal. A lot of us are in a risk-free position right here. A risk-free position means that you got a good entry, and so now your stop loss is break even. Okay, so a lot of us got 200% returns on our calls, took half off, and I'm still in JD. I even added on this dip here. Okay, but let's talk more about this beautiful pitchfork. This is where this is why I'm so excited about JD. It has this perfect pitchfork, right? Look at all these reactions on the median from connecting the high with the low. Boom! Look at that. The low of 9.8 is stopped at the median. The low of 9.9 is stopped at the median, right? And then we have a reaction, a reaction, a reaction. And then look at these, right? This is the real reason that we're in JD. The low of 10.5, the low of 10.6, the low of, the close of 10.8, the low of 10.9, the close of 10.14, and the high of 10.16. So this is a valid pitchfork. This is one of the most valid pitchforks I've ever seen. When you have a valid pitchfork without declining volume or with anything, just because you have a valid pitchfork, you statistically have an 80% chance of the median of the pitchfork being reached, right? That's not, voodoo. I'm not bringing out the tarot cards. This is, a simple law of physics. For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction, right? So this is just a mean reversion. This is, engineers do this, like all types of fields do linear regression and mean reversion. This pitchfork, we can just connect the high to low, and this line will give us our mean reversion, our linear regression line that we can reliably use as a target to act as a magnet and as resistance in the future, right? So anyway, JD, most of us entered right here. If you're thinking about a new position, remember this is not investment advice. The stop loss, you could have a tight stop below 78. You could have a little wider stop below 77. And, if you're, a longer term investor, 75 could be a good stop. And the target is that we are expecting 97 to be reached, likely by the end of October at 11.5 at the latest. We're expecting 97 to be reached, right? So that's JD. We got a few other stocks we want to talk about. But let's just talk about, I'll throw you a curveball real quick. Let's talk about relative strength, right? A lot of traders don't know what relative strength is. They think, that's, the relative strength index, right? Overbought, oversold. No, That's not where relative strength is. This is this is one of my favorite financial resources right now is Adaptive, right? The fact that Adaptive has, 4,000 followers is just absolutely disgraceful. You need to stop this video right now and follow this account, because this account is giving you relative strength that you probably don't know exists, right? So this is the chart of the ratio between the retail sector and the S&P 500. So for years, retail was underperforming, the S&P 500. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna chart this the same way we would chart a stock price, right? And this, if I told you, hey, this is the chart of, Boeing, you'd be like, oh, this is like a huge bottoming play. It's a chart of the retail sector. The retail sector looks like it's about to show relative strength to the S&P 500 for a long time. So let's get into some other components. So JD, we already went through that setup. This is another setup I like a lot. I don't know if you've heard of this company. It's called Walmart. You got the low right here. You connect it with the high. You connect it with the low. And you look for reactions. Beautiful reaction. Beautiful reaction. Where the high of 9.8 is contained by the median of the pitchfork. Another beautiful reaction. Another beautiful reaction. 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 This is good, right? I haven't even talked about my favorite part. This is a big thrust up with a big volume spike, sideways movement with declining volume, right? I love seeing declining volume. And here's the best part. We're going up. We haven't even had our volume breakout yet. We still haven't even had our timing signal, right? This is really exciting. I love these declining volume bars. I think Walmart has a very, very, very good chance. Statistically, it has an 80% chance of reaching the median of this pitchfork. So time target, price target, we're going to go, from 812 to 92, right? So this is where we're getting this end of October, end of November price target. That's our time target. And then we're taking the length of this move and we're placing it at the low, right? So our equal legs target is 156, okay? So everyone understands the target is 156 for Walmart. We're expecting it by the end of October at 11.5 at the latest. And we're going to use the median of this pitchfork as another resistance level, as another, magnet that we're expecting to be hit in the future, right? So, we had some entries right here. For a new entry, this low right here would be a very nice stop loss. 142.84. You aim for 147. We're expecting it to be hit by the end of October by 11.5, right? Now, I want to talk about two other stocks that you've also heard of in the retail sector. Remember, Walmart and JD are my favorite setups in this sector. We're going to talk about Target right now, though, for a little different reason. Because Target gave us an indicator a long time ago that retail was about to sell off, right? So remember when we had that big crash in September? You can't really see that on the Walmart chart. Where's the crash? I thought the world ended in September. The Walmart in all these other stocks, they look like they had big corrections. This is the chart of Target. It's a very clear bull flag, and it's a very tight consolidation sideways. And then, I don't want to bore you to death counting how many reactions we have on this pitchfork, but the median of this pitchfork has a very good chance of being reached. And the median of this bull flag, the equal legs of this bull flag, 182, has a chance of being reached. So I actually went and tweeted, this was September 16th. I said Target just broke out of a nice bull flag. The equal legs continuation target, is 182 in 5 to 6 weeks. Lo and behold, it does look like we are going to hit, 182, 5 to 6 weeks from that tweet, which would be by the end of October. So, I think a lot of us got into Target right here. Hopefully, you've trimmed if you've taken profits along the way. But yeah, definitely you can still hold out for 182. I would not enter a new position on Target at this time. But let's talk about one more, stock in this sector, the retail consumer sector. We can also talk about timing. Obviously, Christmas, Halloween, Thanksgiving's coming up. I'm not, stuff comes together like this, but you have to see it in the charts first. Amazon, right? Amazon is a little trickier. We don't have this clear low to anchor the pitchfork from, right? So we just use this low right here. We didn't have the prettiest reactions. We had one right here. We had a few right here. So I made this pitchfork, but I didn't really make this pitchfork knowing to my followers. I wish I had, because the meeting of the pitchfork did act as resistance on 1013. And now we've had another correction. And what I expect to happen now is that we're going to take the length of this move. We're going to place it at the low of here. And we're going to expect Amazon to take one more thrust higher to 3,780, right? So how do we get a time target? How do we get a price target for that? We take the length of this move from 921 to 1013. That's 3 weeks. And we're going to say 3 weeks from now, we're expecting Amazon to be at 3,700, right? And this actually does give us a really good stop loss because we used 3,160. Today's low is the stop loss. If you want to be a little tighter, manage risk a little better, you could use 3,197 as a stop loss. Remember, Walmart and JD are my favorite setups in this sector right now. Amazon and Target, I'm mostly charting because I want to know where the rest of this sector is. Birds of a feather, they flock together, right? Another stock we can look at. My followers were all over this one. I was talking about Nike. I was talking about Nike way over here, and we did hit our 126 price target. I think a lot of the puppy traders were in that one. It looks like Nike has formed a bull flag right here with declining volume. So I am expecting Nike to take one more thrust higher and reach 140 by the end of October. So, bottom line, JD and Walmart are my favorite setups. Target has been leading the way. This whole sector is showing relative strength. Nike is going to go higher. Amazon's going to go higher. And we're using Nike, Amazon, and Target right now just to know where the sector is going, right? Once we saw Target break out to all-time highs, once we saw Nike break out to all-time highs, we knew, we need to start looking at consumer stocks, right? So we started, charting JD, we started charting Amazon, we started charting Walmart. It looks like the fundamental reason for this is going to be explained by the holiday season, Thanksgiving, Christmas coming up. But, the bottom line is we like JD to reach 97 before the election, and we like Walmart to reach 156 before the election.